from the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. The House of Representatives on Monday received Malacañang's proposed 6.352 trillion peso national budget for 2025. Department of Budget and Management or DBM Secretary Amena Pangandaman formally turned over the presentation of the National Expenditure Program or NEP to House Speaker Martin Romualdez and Congress. Speaker Romualdez earlier assured the readiness of Congress to receive and deliberate on the proposed national budget and have it approved by the House Committee on Appropriations before Congress goes on recess in October. Romualdez said they will make sure that enough funds will be allocated for social services and for programs that will sustain the country's economic growth. The House leader said Congress will match the national budget with the spending priorities of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and his agenda for prosperity. The proposed budget for next year is around 585 billion pesos more than this year's 5.768 trillion peso budget. As of May 31st, the DBM has already released 5.114 trillion pesos or 88.7% of the 2024 national budget.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. over the weekend said the 17 Filipinos who are currently being held hostage by the Houthi rebels are all safe from the recent Israeli attack on Yemen's port of Hodeidah. This was shared by the president in an ex-post on Saturday evening following reports he received from the embassy in Riyadh. The chief executive assured the families of the 17 seafarers that the national government will not abandon the overseas Filipino workers or OFWs and will do everything in its power to bring them back home. President Marcos said the Philippines is one with the international community in calling for the creation of an immediate resolution on the continuous conflict in the Middle East region. Philippine Embassy in Saudi Arabia, Chargé d'Affaires Romel Romato confirmed that the president was referring to the 17 Filipino crew members of the MV Galaxy Leader. Houthi rebels hijacked the cargo vessel near Hodeidah in November last year while traversing the Red Sea towards India when the rebels illegally boarded the vessel via helicopter and held hostage 25 of its crew members, including the 17 Filipino nationals. The Bahamas-flagged Galaxy Leader's crew members is comprised of nationals from Bulgaria, Ukraine, the Philippines, Mexico, and Romania. The vessel is chartered by Japan's Nippon Yusen.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Saturday conveyed his good wishes to the Iglesia ni Cristo or INC as it marks its 110th founding anniversary. In his message, the President commended INC members for its enduring faith, dedication, and positive impact to communities. The Chief Executive said, "The 110th anniversary of the INC is a testament to its members' lasting faith in the Almighty." President Marcos then encouraged the religious group's members to become instruments of change in the society, one who works towards peace and prosperity for the Filipino people and the world.
Binabati ko ang bawat mananampalataya ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa pagdiriwang ng inyong ika-110 anibersaryo ng pagkakatatag. Mula noon hanggang ngayon, buong sigasig na ibinabahagi ng Iglesia ni Cristo ang pagmamahal ni Cristo sa pamamagitan ng Ebanghelyo at pagkakawanggawa sa mga nangangailangan. Naway higit na pagtibayin ng okasyong ito ang inyong pananalig sa Panginoon at pag-ibig sa kapwa. Sama-sama natin ipagdasal at pagsikapan ang kinabukasang puno ng pag-asa, kasaganahan at kapayapaan para sa mga Pilipino at sa buong sangkatauhan. Dagdag pa rito, ipanalangin din natin ang patuloy na kaligtasan ng ating bansa at ang muling pagbangon ng ating mga kababayan mula sa mga nagdadaang kalamidad at mga kasalukuyang pagsubok. Umaasa ako na ang buong Iglesia ni Cristo sa patnubay ni Ka Eduardo Manalo ay patuloy na magiging katuwang ng pamahalaan sa pagsulong ng isang maunlad at mapayapang bagong Pilipinas. Muli, isang maligaya at mainit na pagbati sa inyong ika-110 anibersaryo ng pagkakatatag. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Saturday created an interagency task force to quickly address the possible effects of the oil spill from the MT Terra Nova that sank off the coast of Limay in Bataan Province. The task force will be led by the Office of the Civil Defense or OCD with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR, Philippine Coast Guard or PCG, and the Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG as members. The Department of Health or DOH, the Department of Labor and Employment, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD were also included in the task force. The President ordered the DENR, in coordination with the DOH, to conduct the necessary water and air quality tests, while the Health Department was ordered to check on the health and medical condition of residents. The PCG will evaluate the condition of the sunken motor tanker, while the DILG will coordinate with the local government units or LGUs for response. Meanwhile, the DOLE will implement livelihood programs for affected residents, while the DSWD was instructed to provide aid. The task force was directed to coordinate with Oriental Mindoro Governor Bons Dolor to get his inputs on his province's successful response to an oil spill last year. The chief executive said tapping non-government organizations is also needed to address the problem.
Dateline Malacañang.
In a related story, the University of the Philippines Marine Science Institute expects the oil spill from the oil tanker MT Terra Nova to grow in the waters of Limay in Bataan Province. The institute released an oil spill trajectory model that shows possible oil flows based on existing weather patterns and conditions and the recent information on the location of oil stain. Based on the latest observation, as of July 28th, the oil could possibly flow towards north in Bulacan Province. The oil spill could affect the shores of Cavite Province due to the continuous flow of oil from the tanker.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. said the old approach, such as increasing the height of the dikes, is not applicable in the solution of flooding. The president said even though dikes would be elevated, as well as flood protection measures, water will still reach its level. That's why he believes a new approach should be considered as a long-term solution. According to the chief executive, water should be impounded so that it will not reach the ground and cause inconvenience to the public. This is already being done in other countries, President Marcos said, wherein the impounding area is already placed above. This system, according to the president, will need to be planned and should fit in previous flood control measures.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, on Saturday invited job seekers to take the chance to work in Japan, as 25,000 job opportunities are available for Filipino nationals. In a social media post, the DMW said a special job fair was organized between the Philippines and the Japanese Embassy in celebration of the Philippines-Japan Friendship Week. The event, titled Konnichiwa Pilipinas, Kamusta Japan, will be held at the third floor of Robinson's Galleria Ortigas in Quezon City on August 1st between 10 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. A total of 15 licensed recruitment agencies will be participating in the event, offering jobs in the sectors of construction, medical and healthcare, hotel and restaurant, and customer services, among others. The DMW said the event aims to provide a venue for Filipino job seekers to access legitimate recruiters. It also allows potential overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs, to learn about gender dynamics and potential risks associated with overseas labor migration through short information sessions on Japanese gendered work culture. Meanwhile, the DMW also invited the public in celebrating the Philippines and Japan Friendship Week with the theme Engaging the Stakeholders with a Sense of Commitment and Genuine Partnership this 30th and 31st of July, to be held at the DMW Central Office in Mandaluyong City. The week-long celebration will feature the stories of dedication, perseverance, and resilience of OFWs in Japan through various activities like film showing, hybrid kumustahan sessions, and others. The Aikinobo Aikibana Society of Manila will also open a free exhibit that will showcase the art of Japanese flower arrangements. The DMW and the Japan Embassy will also provide free learning sessions on labor trends and career opportunities in Japan and free Japanese basic language lessons to all the attendees.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, South Korea remains to be the leading country for international tourists in the Philippines during the first 6 months of the year. In a report, the Department of Tourism, or DOT, said A total of 824,798 Korean tourists entered the Philippines. That makes up 25.99% of the total number of foreign tourists. The Philippine Embassy in Seoul welcomed the report that shows the strong coordination and increasing interest in traveling between both countries. The DOT said over 280 billion pesos in earnings came from foreign visitors from January to June, 32.81% higher compared to the same period last year. The increase in earnings in the tourism sector is attributed to the efforts of the government to revitalize the sector. That emphasizes on the importance of tourism to develop the economy and create jobs. Tourism Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco, meanwhile, is hopeful that the number of foreign visitors would increase, as well as jobs for Filipinos in tourism-related industries. Frasco also said projects are in the pipeline with the development of connectivity, which will give visiting foreigners more access to tourist destinations in the country. Out of the more than 3.1 million tourists who visited the country this year, the United States and China followed South Korea as rather in the top list of foreign visitors that contributed to the number of tourist arrivals in the country. The DOT expects the second half of 2024, the Philippines will continue its success in the tourism industry that, according to projections, will achieve record-breaking economic contributions and job opportunities in the tourism sector.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 15.640 MHz, 17.820 MHz, and 12.010 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You will be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.